This morning in the Eagle studio, Tim Wiebe with us. Tim, welcome here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And we're talking this morning about a trip to the Galapagos, which is something that started off in 2021, but now is happening 2023.
Correct. Yeah, Galapagos and Ecuador was the plan for 2021. We had a group of students from Garden Valley Collegiate who was planning to go to these places. And the unfortunate thing is we have this world pandemic that started, and so we ended up having to cancel. And of course, I was expecting that would be the end of it. That would be done. But as fate would have it, the company called me back later to say, hey, we are considering a community-based trip instead of a student-based trip. Would you be interested, is the question for me. And of course, I jumped at it because this was on my bucket list for a long time to go to Ecuador and Galapagos. And so we've been planning for that for a while. And we already have a group of travelers, but we have room for more. So I would love to have some more travelers come along with us.
The more the merrier. It's a 7-day trip, and it sounds like you're packing in just a lot in 7 days.
We are indeed. We are going to several of the islands of the archipelago. We are landing in Quito and getting to know Quito quite well, straddling the hemisphere line between the north and the south hemispheres, the equator, sorry. And as well as that, we'll be going and flying to Baltra, which is the first of the 4 islands that we'll be visiting in Galapagos.
And it sounds like, there at the Galapagos, it's interesting climate, it's interesting wildlife, it's otherworldly.
Absolutely. The kinds of animals that you see there are like no other, and they are not found anywhere else in the world. Everything from the giant tortoise, which of course is large enough to ride in some cases. There's also many different kinds of birds, including the blue-footed booby, which we talked about off camera. And then, of course, other ones like the finches, which has been a source of study for a couple called the Grants from Princeton for like 29, 30 years, and on it goes.
And so talk about, who is this trip for? Who would be interested in going there?
Well, this trip is going to be for anyone who's interested in having an experience that they will likely not have again in their lifetime. It is not the kind of place that people would go year after year after year, like some people would go to Mexico or some people would go to Florida or something like that, right? This is for those who are looking for stroking off their bucket list this trip to a place like the Galapagos.
And I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who's been there before or has seen these animals before, so it's something that's really unique to not a lot of people.
Absolutely, and the kinds of things that I've read about, seen, heard from the scientists that I've studied in the course of my career, it's pretty outstanding to see these places, and I can't wait to actually touch and feel the landscape and the animals instead of just reading about them. And
it sounds fairly simple. You go through the process of signing up and doing all those things, and then the rest of it, you tag along and then you go.
Right. You sign up. There's an opportunity to go to an enrollment page of EF Tours, and from there you get all the information about the itinerary, the experiences, the fees, the travel information that's provided at this time. We don't have all the details just yet, of course, because things are changing and evolving as time goes by. But all of those things are found on the enrollment page.
And when you get there, you'll be good to go. There's almost no jet lag, almost same time zone.
Well, there will be jet lag, indeed. And as soon as we hit the ground, we immediately start touring. So there's no rest for those travelers. They go right away. That's
going to be incredible. And so if people want to find out more about this, is there a way they can do that?
Yeah, there's a number of ways. The first way would be to follow the link on Pembina Valley Online, which will appear today. But also look for posters that will appear around Winkler and Morden within the next little while. You can also email me for more information, and my email is very simple. It's twiebe@gmail.com, and I can send you a link to the enrollment page, which gives all that information.
And I mean, when else are you going to be able to have one foot in the north hemisphere and one in the south? That's incredible. That'd be a great picture.
Absolutely, and that's definitely one of the things that they do.
Wonderful. Tim, thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.